Welcome to the La Jolla Ecological Reserve. Situated in Southern California, just 10 miles north of San Diego, this beautiful area is known for its biodiversity, sea lions and dolphins, and intertidal zones that dominate the shallows around La Jolla Cove. Of special interest are tide pools. Tide pools provide ample opportunities to discover the life and wonders of the sea. Now watch, with extreme prejudice, as we find out where crabs come from, how animals adapt to a bipolar life, and why I'm scared of getting wet. Let's go!
The ocean is amazing, a source of food and pleasure to millions of animals. This giant body of chemicals and molecules has allowed life to generate and thrive in a universe of chaos and extremes. Similarly, tide pools are harsh environments where 1 hour organisms are protected by a layer of water, and the next, the sun's harsh rays push them into submission. Animals try their best to establish themselves on and around these zones as a source of food, shelter, and safety. However, as we shall see, marine creatures are in a constant struggle of survival against the power of the sea. Wave upon wave beat them back into what I like to term nooks and crannies.
These poor creatures have nowhere else to go, and as such, they're at the mercy of nature's own devices. Thousands have died from tidal epidemics, and millions more are...
Not entirely true, is it, Ed?
Hey, George. How's it going? Glad you could join us. Yeah, didn't know you were gonna be showing up today. You got me.
Right.
Everybody, this is George. George, these are my friends. They're my friends.
Back to the issue, Ed. You were saying creatures were unable to cope with day-to-day life in tide pools? Doesn't make sense.
Well, maybe I could have been a little clearer. You know, like the ocean. Clear like the ocean.
Explain it without the liberal bias, please.
Hey, don't get me involved in politics again, George. I had enough of that after Ronald Reagan warned us about global warming.
Al Gore, right?
That's what I said. That's what I said. And anyway, maybe tide pool creatures don't know about global warming, huh? They don't watch TV like us, George. They're not humans. In fact, I heard that there's been attacks off the coast of Africa, by pirates. Do you know about pirates of Somalia, George?
Honestly, Ed, I think you've been in the sun too long.
That's what I thought.
You bastard.
And although you just hurt my feelings, your harsh, hurtful words have helped me introduce the next topic. You see, the problem of living in a tidal zone is that you either have to be ready to go into deeper water when the tide goes out, or you have to have adaptations that allow you to survive above water for long periods of time in the sun.
Guess you're correct.
Yeah, that's right. Furthermore, in the tidal zone...
Littoral zone, actually.
The what?
The littoral zone? Yes.
This tidal zone is also called the littoral zone?
Yes.
Well, in this littoral zone, are there creatures that continually interrupt a very important person who's trying to educate today's uninformed youth?
Just trying to help, Ed. That's all. Okay, go on.
As I was saying, in the littoral zone, organisms have to make the choice of staying put or leaving with the tide. Luckily, this decision is often made for them by the environment. In rocky littoral zones, there are many nooks and crannies for animals to hide from the sun, as well as solid surfaces for organisms to attach themselves to. In contrast, sandy beaches are poor places for littoral creatures, as there are limited places to attach. Thus, these areas are usually occupied by burrowing clams, crabs, and worms.
Lovely.
Attachment is very important because if you can't attach yourself to something, you might get knocked off your home when a strong wave comes, or you might become prey for a seagull or a pirate.
Not really.
Now, there are 3 distinct areas that make up the areas around tide pools, which is also called the intertidal zone. Check out this diagram.
Great graphic.
The uppermost zone is called the supralittoral zone. This is the area above the tide pool that usually stays pretty dry, with the exception of ocean spray once in a while from waves. But remember, think of Superman.
What?
Yeah, in that episode where when we sprayed the water, he sprayed, and there was hot rocks too. That's why Superman was there, because he needed to spray the water on the hot rocks.
Right.
Episode 128, I believe, is the correct episode.
I don't think that's a real episode.
Then all you have to do is remember that Superman sprays rocks with water, much like the ocean does in the supralittoral zone.
Aha, aha.
And George, you can just cut that out, because that is not helping.
Fine.
The second zone, the littoral zone, we already talked about. I remember its name by thinking of this area as being littered with life, as this is the best place to see a wide variety of creatures.
I think of littoral. I think of litter.
That's enough, George. Your shenanigans are getting in the way of this great production I'm making.
Oh.
So, cut it out.
Really?
To continue, the third zone is the sublittoral zone, and is the area that is completely covered by water. It is here that organisms which need to be underwater reside. Makes sense.
Oh.
To remember this, think of a submarine.
Oh, really?
You know, subs can't go on land.
Obviously.
It's a sub. Also, submarines are littered with life.
No.
I guess like sailors and stuff.
No.
So subs plus litter equals sublittoral.
You sicken me, sir.
You know what, George? If you think I'm doing a bad job, then you take over.
What? Fine. Do the job myself. Oh. Okay, everybody, let's just stay calm. Id. Okay, I understand. I'll stop. Alright? I'll stop. Simple as that, right? I'll stop right now. It's getting dark. What was that? Ed, what are you doing? What's going on? Ed, what's going on? Oh my god.
Oh, hey George, how's it going?
Right.
Just had to go for a walk in the supralittoral zone. I like the way the ocean spray gets in my face and it really calms me down. In that supralittoral zone.
Right.
Anyway, I came back because I heard a scream. Sounded like a girl screaming.
Yeah, I heard it too. A girl saw a spider and got scared or something. It wasn't me or anything like that. I swear.
Well, I hope she's okay.
Ah,
It must have been a pretty big spider, because everyone in town heard the scream.
you are not funny, sir.
And I guess since you're okay, now would be a good time for me to explain why intertidal zones exist in the first place, right?
Right, that'd be a great idea.
To explain intertidal zones, I need to explain why tides exist in the first place. What causes tides? Would you believe that the reason has to do with our solar system? Of course you wouldn't. But in fact, the moon's and somewhat the sun's position relative to the Earth is the blaming factor. I can blame it. The sun and the moon.
Right.
I hate those guys. To find out how the moon and sun create tides, let's go see Science the Scientist for the answer.
Clever.
And afterwards, don't be surprised to see me in a new location, in a different area, or a different time. Continuity, as George Orwell said, is like walking through ruined cities.
And I believe he was referring to the continuity of civilization. Civilization after World War II.
I know Orwell better than you.
I'm English.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
If you were English, then you'd be drinking tea right now.
I take offense to that, sir. You jerk.
Well, then I challenge you to a duel. And while we're at it, why don't you go put a shrimp on the barbie?
That's Australians, you plonker.
Don't call me a plonker.
Call you anything I want.
I'll call you. I'm.
That's right. You copied me. You tried. That's right. You tried to copy me now, and I'm the winner.
What
Yep.
are you gonna do?
Want to fight about it?
No,
Yep.
we can't talk
all
about
money.
that.
I can
That's
talk over you right now.
going down.
Talking over you.
That's